Hello, we're going to tackle the next step on this album slash folio, and I've kind of got everything all laid out. And again, these are leftover papers from a larger album that I made. So I'm hoping that you're able to kind of play along and use the same colors, or if you have a paper collection that has an abundance of leftovers, you can apply that to this photo album slash folio. You just cut your papers to fit and design it out. Your main build is going to be building the folio itself. So what I did notice, which is a great pleasure, is out of each of the 12 by 12s that I'm playing with, I was able to get 4 cuts. So I've got 2 of the larger cuts here at the top, and I've got 2 of the smaller cuts from the same papers down here at the bottom. Now I played with the rest of this and I cut strips to fill each of the gussets. And let me just kind of pull this out of the way here, as this is last. We can get to this. And this piece here, I was able to cover. Oh, now why aren't you lifting? Hello? Oh, that's because I already put those down. Okay, hold on here just a second. Let me unfold this. All right, so this piece of paper, which could be any piece of paper, I was able to get 2 cuts out of it, plus the 2 bottom pieces here. The leftovers off my 2 top pieces started to fill in some of the waterfall photos. Now I did have enough paper that as I went through it, I was covering both sides of the photos. And keep in mind, again, these are alternating because they kind of overlap one another. Now, it's kind of an afterthought, and I am going to do it, so you can choose to or not to. I'm going to put a pocket down here, and I'm going to do a pocket over here on this side. I will probably do that here after the fact, if I can find quickly pieces to make a pocket. I'm going to be running it from that gusset to this gusset. And I don't know if I can do this quick enough so it can all get included. So I'm basically going to need 2 pieces that are the same length, and look at that. These are just about the same length. Which one was the correct one? I just kind of... it's this one here. All right, so match these up. Pencil mark. And I'm going to trim off just a smidgen. So I'm going to put a pocket here, and I'm going to put a pocket in over here. See if you've got some additional items that you want to put in. Now, these aren't very wide, so maybe I'll get lucky enough and find a couple of strips in here. And my scraps, it really doesn't matter. I'm just looking for the right height. I don't want to have to cut into a big 12 by 12 to do this. So if I cut that pocket down, I have just enough of this strip. So if I come in here and just line up where I want this strip to be, I'm going to take just a little bit off the top, and I'm going to mark this. So I should be able to use that one strip, get the most out of the paper as I can. Okay. I'm flopping things around here. And then I'm going to make this cut right here. All right, so here, what's the other side look like? Nah, I like this side. It's got a little bit more action to it. So let me fold these over. Actually, this one could be a little bit longer, so let me see. I don't know why that is, but it can be a little bit longer, and again, it's probably the way the gusset laid, so I'm going to come from here to here, so it matches with that bottom flap. And then I'm going to trim. Oh, this piece is now trimmed almost perfect. And I'm going to trim this right here. And voila, I have my 2 pockets, and I hope I didn't take up too much of your video time. All right, so there we go. We got 2 pockets going on down here. We'll use a piece of paper. It's got a little bit of action to it. I'm going to tape these in. We'll get to this big pen, this side here, because this is where all the 3x5s are going to go. So where I want to, oh, let's turn this over. I'm using this piece and this piece to cover for the front, and then I've got these covered, these 2 bottom front panels covered out of the leftovers from this paper here. So what I would like to do is very quickly, let's kind of fold this up here. So I want to get these in. And I solved my glue problem, I hope. I just didn't have it glued down tight enough. So it was squishing down through the edges. It was just the most bizarre thing. All right, again, I was using some of the leftover scraps so that I could cover the inside of this. I can't get a hold of it. And then we're going to glue this piece in. I started you out on a real quick video, and then as we go, they're getting longer and longer. I apologize. I could break them up, but it's still the same amount of video time. You're just sitting longer on these last few. Okay, that one's in. One's in. Now, when we put down the long internal piece, we just came barely up to this edge. So when you put your pattern paper down, be sure to cut it so that you can hide that seam and hide the seams that you have here at the bottom. It just makes for a cleaner project. All right, so all of those are done. Now we're going to start to go top in. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece in. I had to do a little bit of trimming on these two, not much. I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to put this one on. Now there's two sides to this. I think it goes this way. So you can, if you're using the same paper, you can use either side, but I like the images on the sides that I'm using because I'm anticipating that those will not get covered with photos. So the images will kind of speak for themselves. All right, now we're all secured at this point. So let's flip this over. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to turn this around so it will be easier for me to work with these two top flaps. So these came out of the same 12 by 12. I just simply trimmed to fit at just a hair under 6 inches on both sides of these. And then the piece I cut off the bottom is what I used down here. So I am, because I'm just a chicken, I am going to tape these two in because that's where my magnets are. And I have noticed that my magnets are kind of talking to each other. So I don't know if I'll have to do any adjustments when I'm completely done. By the time I get the layers on, they may settle down. I could say, yeah, I personally could move them now, but I think when I get done here, they'll be just fine. There we go. Tape this one. I think my hands will function a little bit better if I take some things out of them. I'll have to check my time. I might cut this in half here because I've noticed when I upload to YouTube, the longer the video, the longer it takes for them to accept it. I do not know what happened, but I'll check the time here in just a minute. I hate to have to stop and start, but it's really frustrating when you're trying to upload an instructional video and it takes 3 days. which I have had that happen. And you can't upload anything else, because once you start one, you have to finish the first one. Oh, we're at 15 minutes. We're so far doing okay. All right, now I'm going to pull this back to me, turn it back around, and now I'm going to cover, I get the right flaps up here, I'm going to cover my bottom flaps now. Again, they're a continuation of the piece I used up on the top. Yeah, make sure I get it going in the right direction here. Nope, that's not gonna work. I gotta take a little bit off because it's gonna hang over the edge. Much better. Okay, that one's on. I'm just going to double check my measurement here before I do anything. Make sure I'm putting the wording the right direction. Now while I'm doing this, you know, you've got some gusseted edges here. You've got several, you've got one here. If you are so inclined and you want to cover those, you're looking at cutting a very thin strip of paper, because those are 1/4 inch gussets, and maybe gluing them in. I'm not. I don't think it's worth, personally, the hassle. Okay. All right, so now all of these pieces are done. Now I'm going to flip and I'm going to work on the inside. We're going to glue these pieces in right here. Check my measurements. I think I'm good to go. Come on, come on, come on. What'd you do? What'd you do? I honestly don't remember which way was up on this paper. Those are done. I am going to put tape on my pockets before I move on to the waterfalls. Now, I pulled that piece out of my scraps. It's an afterthought, so I apologize. I didn't think about measurements. This piece measured in at 2 inches, and so you're trimming to fit, so this is coming in at 1 7/8. I guess I better put that down. Can't be wiggling around if I'm going to put this pocket in there. Okay, but that is ready to go. I do have some excess glue. Okay, let us glue this piece down. I don't know, which side do I like better? It's getting covered up. I'm going to use this side because I've already got these down. I kind of wanted things to be matching a little bit. I'm just lining this up. I've got to trim that back. I wasn't paying any attention to that. It went right into my gusset. That one's okay. I'll have to take my craft knife and fix that. Let's get over here and let's put this one down. Let's put these little pockets in, and then we can kind of start dealing with the waterfall. Get this over here. Now the big waterfall, we put that in the beginning of the construction. The small waterfalls we're going to do an overlapping waterfall. Remember early on when I said, too many? Well, no, there's not too many. I just failed to remember what it was I was doing. And then it hit me. You have just enough if you've made, I do believe is 8 of them. Okay, we're just going to drop this just inside here. Make sure it's not interfering. There's that pocket. And then we're going to drop this in here, just above that SCOR line. I have it too far to my left. I want to pull it over here to my right just a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's play with the waterfall on this side, because this side, the right side is just covering the waterfalls, but this is the construction side. So if I'm going to have a length of video, I'd rather it start here because we can always cut short and you'll know what to do on this side. But let's play. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one of these measures 5.5 with a 1/2 inch score by 3.5. And what I'm doing is I'm putting one right up there, and then I'm putting the other one here. So you'll have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, but you're going to have 2 on the left and 2 on the right, and then you're going to come down here and you're going to do that same thing. So I want to kind of eyeball something here real quick. You've got, I can pull this down just a bit and bring this up just a bit. So I'm going to come up about 1/4 inch, top and bottom, and that's where I'm going to start. Lengthwise, I do kind of need to be right at the very edge because there's another waterfall that's going to come in, another card piece that's going to come in there. So that was really stupid on my part. I think I'm going to interfere with the pocket I just put on. What a ding-ding. Let me see what's going to happen here. I may have to pull that off. I'm glad I tape it. I am. Oh, I can put it back on afterward, I think. I really messed this up. I hope I didn't mess you up. You can send me an angry face if you did, but keep it clean because scrapbook or YouTube has censors. That's my bad. Okay, so I'm going to come up about 1/4 inch. Where's this one? Up about, I'm going to follow that paper line, and then I'm going to take this one over here. And I'm going to use the first one as my guide to make sure I've got it in line. And then I'm going to butt this one right up to that. And then over here, I'm going to butt this one up right over here. That's my first set. Now I'm going to come down here, sorry for the head, come down here about 1/4 of an inch, follow that paper line, come in here, put this second one in. Hope they're lining up straight. Very good. All right. I'll lay these two together. Get my fingers off of there. And then my last one. Okay. So now you've got 8 that will hold 16 photos. And now it's just a matter of covering everything, and that can happen very quickly. I've already pre-cut all of my papers, so I'll just kind of be scattering them around to make images so they're not repeating. And I cut these to 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. And I think I cut enough to cover both sides. Oh, I want to look back at this and see if... I just noticed that there is a signature right there. What can I do with this? Can I put this in here? Well, I can put a small one in. I just have to cut it down. But this one is not going to go in there. Again, my sincere apologies. Oh, look at that. I can make a little tuck right here. Oh, you know what? I bet I could put this up here so I don't lose the construction of the tuck, but I just have to trim it down a bit. Okay, I'm doing a squirrel. I apologize. I'll play with this later. I think I might put it up here and create a tuck up there. Okay, so that's down. I want this one on the top. So I just simply took two 12 by 12s and made all my cuts. Come on. I don't want this one to be the same as that one. But it doesn't look like I'm going to have much of a choice as to what I can use because all the cuts are coming off of basically one 12 by 12. I hope I'm still in frame. Let me move this way a little bit. I'm still wondering if I've got if I cut enough. I don't think I cut enough. Well, I can get as far along as I can. Because this is just simply a function of the finishing the build, so it's not, I thought I did. It's not something that I need to finish the, my dog just scared the life out of me. I thought I had my craft door closed and she pushed against it. She's never done that and she just walked right in. So I'm 2, 4, 6, 8 short. Okay. I'm going to go over here and tidy these up some, get these put on. Maybe they're hiding. I think I just miscalculated. That side. oh, there it is. Okay, so that goes over that way, that goes over that way. All right, so with the exception of my needing to cut some colored paper for the smaller folios over here, I am pretty much done. So I can all do that later. I can fix this later. I don't need to take up your time. So we get to fold this up. And it's nice and square, nice and tight. And there you have it. Thanks for playing along. Bye-bye.